How misunderstandings start from poor self-care. So I was just looking for bookcase for my room and my bedroom, and I looked on a used place, and somebody was selling a very interesting looking bookcase. So I got in touch with him, and we were texting back and forth and making arrangements for me to come see it. And I asked him what his availability is the next day. And he said, I'm around all day. And I wasn't quite sure what the flow of my day looked like the next day. But since he was going to be around all day, I felt free to be a bit more spontaneous about it. So I said, I think I'll be coming down in the morning, but I'll get in touch with you in the morning to verify that, because I'm not really sure how my day is going to go. So he appeared to be fine with that. Then in the morning, I texted him and I said, it's looking like 1 to 1:30. And he texts back and says, don't make it any later than that. I have to take my wife out. And I said, oh, would you like me to come earlier? Do you need me to come earlier? And he said, that would be great, but it's not absolutely necessary. So that's fine. I went. He's a nice guy. It's all good. But it made me think about the importance of slowing down for self-care, slowing down to ask ourselves, what do I want? Every time we're making an agreement with anyone in the world, right? Interaction is relationship. It could be with our partner, it could be with a stranger, or anywhere in between. What's important is that we slow down and say, okay, what do I want in this situation? For instance, if he could have said, instead of saying I'm around all day, he could have said, I'm flexible, what works for you? And then I would have known that I should figure out what my day is ahead of time and make a specific appointment with him that I can keep. So it's possible that he may think someone, I don't want to project onto him, but someone who communicates the way that he communicated, I'm around all day, might be having an impulse in their personality driving them to be accommodating, because then they get more from their relationships with other people because other people are happy, right? That's the feeling behind accommodation. But he may also have, a person like him could have the impression that all women are flakes. Maybe he's more accommodating with women. I'm totally making this up, but it's based on a minor misunderstanding that actually happened in communication. And I could see how the things that do come up in relationships and that people do think can all happen because of poor self-care. If he sets it up that the other person doesn't have enough information to understand how to relate to him in a way that is respecting the way he feels like he wants to create his day, then he could feel put out and feel like it's the other person's fault. So it's really important, number one, that we breathe and take time to feel what it is that we want before we make arrangements with people. And then inside that, it's also important that we realize that we can have whatever we want. We don't have to settle. We don't have to compromise. We're all taught that we have to compromise in relationship to make things work. But the truth is that we shouldn't be compromising on self-care, and we don't have to. It just takes slowing down, breathing, checking in first, feeling what we want, giving ourselves permission to feel what we want, and then communicating what works for us. Because in every relationship, whether it's intimate partner, family, friend, stranger, we have the right to only do things that work for both people. What's tricky about these patterns of falling down on our own self-care that can translate into ways that we communicate that set us up for disappointments or stress or tension in our relationship experiences. These patterns have subconscious drivers, and typically, if you're human, we are used to these subconscious drivers, so we can't see them. We don't really, it's hard to notice them because we're just used to, that's the way self and life feels. That's just the way things work. It's the way things are. So it's hard for us to actually see those patterns. So the road home to deeper self-care and being able to slow down and communicate in a way that allows, that gives our partner or friends, family, strangers, the information that they need to be able to respect us well. That clarity comes from developing a reference for self that is not steeped in these subconscious patterns. And it can take a very long time to heal subconscious patterns, but gratefully, we have the ability to compartmentalize. And because we have the ability to compartmentalize, we do have the ability to sidestep our subconscious patterns for a period of time and enter into another state of mind, and a state of mind in which we are feeling our natural relationship with love, which harmonizes our being. The subconscious patterns that we have that lead us to do all these kinds of crazy, weird things in our relationship and communication, those subconscious patterns developed from moments or experiences or interpretations without the understanding of divine love as the foundation for reality. So they are disturbances or darkness that live in our psyche that just come from trying to survive in the world, this world, which is a world that's built without the awareness of divine love by and large. So the place that we need to connect with in order to start to feel what peace feels like inside ourselves, what relief feels like, what worthiness feels like, so that we are starting to build a foundation to even understand what self-care really means and what's possible, what we can give ourselves the permission to experience, what flow feels like. This is all the foundation of self-care. In order to develop our ability to want that and ask for that for ourselves in our relationships and create the day that we want with clear communication, we have to find how to connect with divine love energy in the center of our being. And this is not about visualization, and it's not about beliefs. It is about awareness. And I have a series of videos, short exercises, 5 short exercises to help guide you to discover where that interconnection with divine love lies inside yourself and how to activate it. That is the foundation for self-care, and self-care is the foundation for clear communication in your relationships. And all 3 of those stack up to harmony and beautiful, loving connection in your closest relationships and even with strangers. So if you're interested in that heart alignment video series, then give me a note. You can DM me, or I don't think putting in the comments is going to work so well, but you could try that. But it's best to DM me heart videos, and I'll connect you with that as soon as I can. Have a great day.